KUAM News Headlines is presented by Calvo's Insurance, a legacy of trust, serving Micronesia since 1938. Matson and the Adahi Tano Program. Cars Plus, home of Guam's first and only lifetime limited powertrain warranty. McDonald's of Guam, I'm loving it. And King's Restaurants, always open, always local, and serving up favorites for over 40 years.
Starting now on Primetime, things heat up in the Democratic congressional race with both candidates holding press conferences today. Plus, Guam records 7 new COVID-19 cases, bringing the total to 375. And former police officer Mark Troy Jr. is looking to modify his pre-trial release conditions.
Half a day and good evening. I'm Adriana Cotero. Things are heating up in the Democratic congressional race. Challenger Robert Underwood is calling out incumbent Michael San Nicolas for not facing the voters about allegations in a House ethics investigation. Instead, the congressman has hired a high-powered Washington law firm to represent him. Nestor LeConte reports.
Any other questions?
Former Delegate Underwood called a news conference challenging Congressman San Nicolas to speak to the specifics of the ethics probe and not have his lawyer issue press releases. San Nicolas has retained the D.C. law firm of Brand Woodward. Partner Stan Brand, a former general counsel for the House of Representatives, said in a news release that, quote, any assertion that the mere fact of an investigation serves as an indication of wrongdoing is mere posturing. Underwood says San Nicolas should speak for himself.
It's a fundamental obligation for people in public service to present themselves to the public. Michael San Nicolas has refused to do so, and instead, in this particular instance, he's hiding behind an attorney's statement.
The Ethics Committee announced in June that it is looking into campaign expenditures that may not be legitimate, disclosed information to the Federal Election Commission that may be false, and false statements to government investigators, among other things. San Nicolas has also had to return a campaign contribution from a local businessman that well exceeded the lawful limit. And Underwood says it's not just that he needs to explain.
He's missed 52% of votes that he was eligible to participate for. That's 160 votes. And there are all kinds of issues related to the people of Guam, ranging from veterans to senior citizens to education, even to coral reefs. And he did not participate in those votes. He did not stand up for Guam.
Underwood says the bottom line is accountability.
That's the number one issue. How come Mike San Nicolas refuses to be held accountable for any of these activities? How come he refuses to explain his missed votes? How come he refuses to engage on the basis of his performance? And now he refuses to come home.
For Guam's News Network, I'm Nestor LeConte.
Congressman San Nicolas did respond with a news conference of his own from Washington late this afternoon. He said he wanted to counter the, quote, negative campaigning, unquote, of his challenger, and did so with a rare question-answer session with reporters.
Regarding the ethics investigation about campaign misspending, Congressman San Nicolas said a probe doesn't mean he's guilty of anything. But while House rules do not preclude him from talking about it, his lawyers are advising against that.
Because everything that is put on the record in terms of those discussions, all those things can continue to be factored in. And, in the interest of trying to get this thing resolved as quickly as possible, we're trying to avoid having too many variables added into the proceedings.
He also responded to his heavily criticized voting record, which Underwood said was just 52%.
Don't get me wrong, we absolutely would like to bring the voting record up. We've had to make some tough decisions, and that's resulted in the voting record being what it is. Well, those tough decisions have obviously paid off.
And it's not clear if San Nicolas will be returning to Guam before the primary. He says he has important work to do in D.C. related to pandemic assistance. But he does go on record that he is open to a debate with challenger Underwood, even if it's held online.
Again, the work is keeping us engaged out here. I've actually not heard a call for any debate. That's news to me. I've never been one to shy away from any of those things. So if that needs to be arranged virtually, we can probably do that.
For Guam's News Network, I'm Nestor LeConte.
The number of confirmed COVID cases has gone up again. According to the Joint Information Center, 7 people turned up positive out of 386 samples that were tested. Of the newly confirmed cases, 1 case was identified through contact tracing. 3 cases had recent travel to the continental U.S. and were identified in a quarantine facility, and 4 cases are under investigation. To date, there have been a total of 375 confirmed cases of COVID-19 with 5 deaths, 318 released from isolation, 3 hospitalized, and 52 active cases. Of those cases, 326 are classified as civilians and 49 are military service members. Dr. Felix Cabrera of the Governor's Physicians Advisory Group doesn't have specific information about the recent surge of positive cases, but says everyone on island is at the same risk level for catching COVID.
But the key thing to know is that majority of what we're seeing, especially recently, over the past, in the month of July, was that these positives were being caught, within quarantine, and so that's a significant number. And when you think about, what the purpose of quarantine is, and the potential that if they weren't caught during quarantine, or I should say identified during quarantine, that could have been, exponentially, detrimental to the overall status of COVID-19 on the island. So. Adherence to this is really important.
Dr. Cabrera adds the biggest threat, however, are those that are actually on home quarantine that are not following home quarantine protocols. The Physicians Advisory Group, in the meantime, is meeting this evening. One of the items on the agenda is the latest locations that are designated as low risk. And after a pause in community testing, cars lined the street in Ordot for almost a mile. Our Tomas Manglotnia has the latest.
Community testing is back in full force. About 50 frontliners taking the helm this morning in Ordot, where residents lined up for drive-through and walk-in testing.
Now that everybody's now gathering, 50% in the restaurants, and some are having parties, 50 people, you never know who's next to you may have COVID that may have transmitted to a traveler or an ill patient. It's better that, to me, it's good to be tested right now.
Officials here tell us that they've tested 6,800 people since April through the Community Testing Initiative. Margarita Gay from Public Health says it takes a village.
They've been out here since 6:30 lining up, and our walk-in is pretty much, they're coming down from their cars and they're lining up. It's a good flow there too.
Resident Gianna Pangilinan lined up for testing a second time for a reason close to home.
I take care of old people. My dad is blind, and a dialysis patient, so he's considered high risk.
She doesn't want to risk exposing loved ones and encourages others to do the same.
Get tested because it's better to be safe than sorry, and especially with all of this. The sooner that everyone gets tested and we know what's going on, the sooner we can get back to actual normal.
For Guam's News Network, I'm Tomas Manglotnia.
Guam Fire Department rescue units responded this afternoon off Orochi Point. According to the GFD spokesperson Kevin Riley, 911 dispatchers received a call of a 21-year-old male who was free diving and spearfishing with 2 others when they lost sight of him. After searching, the 2 spotted the spear fisherman approximately 50 feet below the surface. Rescue divers entered the water and retrieved the young male at around 4 p.m. CPR was conducted en route to Agate Marina, where a medic was waiting for the patient. He was transported to Naval Hospital Guam in Agana Heights with CPR continuing. Mark Torrey Jr. is asking the court to modify his pretrial release conditions. Torrey is accused for the 2015 fatal shooting of fellow police officer Albert Piolo. In the government's second try of the case, an amended indictment brought forth on Torrey charges him with negligent homicide and aggravated assault. A motion hearing was held in Judge Arthur Barcenas' courtroom this morning, with Torrey's attorney, Jay Uriola, arguing for restrictions to be lifted on his client's house arrest conditions.
Our request is that the court simply remove the house arrest conditions. The court is willing to impose curfew conditions, say from 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. We would respectfully submit that would assure that the defendant is at least at home in the evening hours. However, during the daytime hours, Your Honor, we ask that the house arrest lifted so that we can assist his wife and his family and a number of things that come up with
The government made few arguments with the Office of Attorney General Chief Prosecutor Basil Malin, stating the people strongly oppose but will leave it to the court's order. Judge Barcinas told both parties a written order will be issued. Additionally, as the case prepares for trial, discussions on exhibits were also heard. A trial day has yet to be set, however, Tory has asserted. Assistant U.S. Attorney Laura Sambataro asked the court to admonish defendant Mark Mayo for contacting two of the government's witnesses they plan to have testify. Mayo faces conspiracy to distribute meth and attempted possession of meth with intent to distribute charges. His case is scheduled for trial on August 12th and to be located at the Guam National Guard Readiness Center in Barrigada. During today's final pretrial conference, both parties told the court there is no chance of settlement, with the government also bringing to the court's attention that Mayo allegedly passed notes along to one of the government's witnesses who is detained at the Department of Corrections, and also contacted another witness through a third party. Attorney Sambataro stating, quote, the defendant was trying to get the witnesses to alter their testimony, unquote. Chief Judge Francis Tadinko Gatewood told the government if this is the case, then the U.S. Attorney's Office has the ability to file for obstructing justice or tampering with witnesses. Further, the court instructed Mayo to not contact any witnesses directly or indirectly. It was also said the U.S. plans to call 5 witnesses, including co-defendants Lavilia Mendoza and Joseph Roman, who are both detained. A motion to dismiss is on the table, as is a motion to sever the case for Dwayne and Natasha Peters' Superior Court case. The husband and wife are accused of sexually assaulting a female known to them. They were arrested and indicted earlier this year and face multiple charges related to criminal sexual conduct. The victim came forward alleging the couple raped her multiple times starting when she was 11 years old. While a motion hearing was set for this morning, the government asked for more time to respond. A continued hearing was set for a later date. And stick around for more news here on Prime Time.
Social distancing may be the new norm, but connection will always be our tradition. Through good times and tough times, we remain connected with you. Masks may be the new fashion, but protection will always be our style. You can always count on us to protect the things that matter the most. Sanitizing may be the new routine, but caring will always be our practice. We care about your loved ones and the things you value the most. And as we welcome our new normal, one thing remains certain: we will always be here for you. We're open and ready to serve you. Calvo's Insurance, a legacy of trust.
We are open to serve you at Cars Plus Guam. Need a quick service for your vehicle? Visit our express lane at Cars Plus. Done fast, done right. No appointment needed. Our service team is dedicated to helping you get your vehicle in and out of the shop and back on the road quickly and securely. Simply drop off your vehicle at our express lane driveway, and one of our service advisors will take care of it. Need a ride? Not to worry. We have a shuttle vehicle ready to drop you back home and pick you up when your vehicle is ready. Open Monday to Saturday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Visit us today. We are open to serve you.
Taco Bell's new grilled cheese burrito is filled with nacho cheese sauce and a delicious 3-cheese blend. And even more melty cheese is grilled on top. Introducing Taco Bell's grilled cheese burrito box. Order ahead and pick yours up at our contactless drive-thru.
That's when Lil' Mama came to stealing looks. Whoa, she off the Richter scale, she had me shook. Yeah, but if you single tonight and can't find your friends, then I hope you don't mind me asking. Do you wanna dance to the music? Do you wanna rock to the beat of the drum? And we could cut it up, cut it up, cut it up, cut it up. Baby, we should cut her up.
After only a year and a half in Congress, Michael San Nicolas stands out for being one of 6 members in Congress that the bipartisan House Committee on Ethics is investigating this term. He also stands out for having the worst voting record this term, missing almost 52% of votes he could have cast for Guam. San Nicolas stands out for getting national coverage for himself and Guam on ABC News, The New York Times, Fox News, The Washington Post, and more. The investigation is examining if San Nicolas converted candidates campaign funds for personal use, accepted improper campaign contributions, filed false reports with the Federal Election Commission, made false statements to government investigators, and improperly interfered or attempted to interfere in a government investigation. Here at home, San Nicolas stands out for refusing to comment on the investigations and not explaining how he missed so many votes. We can't afford to take another chance on Michael San Nicolas.
I'm Robert Underwood, and I approve this message.
KUAM News, winner of the 2020 Regional Edward R. Murrow Award for Excellence in Social Media.
The Home of the Friars was the first to open its doors for the new school year. Joan Ogden-Chaffrez has more on how students are adjusting to the new protocols under the new norm.
On Monday morning, social media platforms like Facebook and Instagram were flooded with photos and video of parents sending off their sons for their official first day at Father Dueñas Memorial School. The Manguilao campus is the first school to open for the new school year. Dr. Juan Flores, Superintendent of Catholic Education, says overall, the first day went well.
I think that there needs to be a lot of adjustment because I know that a lot of boys needed to be reminded by the faculty to keep social distancing. I didn't see any problem with the masks or anything like that, but I do know that, there was one teacher who was even walking around with a pipe that was 6 feet long just to remind them of what 6 feet meant. This is their first chance to be together, and I think having to remind them that they have to keep social distance was important yesterday. Hopefully it'll get better today.
Dr. Flores says along with temperature checks, the enforcement of masks, hand washing, and sanitizing, there was an adjustment to the school's schedule to ensure social distancing measures are being practiced from when students take breaks or eat lunch. Freshman Miles Stanley.
I was kind of nervous on how it was going to go out with the social distancing stuff, but it was a pretty good day. I feel it's going to be something that it'll be easy to get used to.
His mother, Geraldine Stanley, says her fear for her son's safety was alleviated during a camp.
We kind of did a trial run and sent him to a summer camp at FD for wrestling, and we really liked how they did their procedures. So we felt confident that FD would meet our concerns.
She said on his first day, Miles was confident and ready, and that eased her mind.
When he got home, he was saying that it was a good, fun day. I had every confidence that he was prepared and is ready to be successful.
Flores believes that it will become easier after a week or so, noting that even though the boys were practicing social distancing before, it's different when you're surrounded by people you know.
We're trying to encourage students to exercise the social distancing because everybody's got a different life outside of the school, right? So we want to make sure that they're not transmitting anything, not that any of them are, but if there's anything to transmit, we want to minimize that. So wear their mask, observe social distancing, do the things that are really necessary.
Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Joan Ogden-Chaffrez.
The Guam Department of Education State Agency for the Emergency Food Assistance Program under the U.S. Department of Agriculture Food Nutrition Service has canceled the TFAP food commodities distribution scheduled for Thursday, August 6th. According to the JIC release, this will allow staff to prepare for the reopening of schools and to meet with mayors to discuss an alternate distribution plan. The new distribution schedule will be announced at a future date. Also, GDOE would like to remind the public that the Grab and Go school meal program distribution ended on Friday, July 31st. GDOE would like to thank the roughly 200 school employees, volunteers, and community partners who made the program possible. We use them to carry out purchases from everywhere, from restaurants to mom and pop stores, but proposed legislation by Senator Regine Bisco-Lee would up the ante on the sale of distribution of takeout plastic bags. Nestor LeConte reports on today's public hearing.
The days may be numbered for the ubiquitous carry-out plastic bag. The law banning such bags goes into effect January 1st, but it does provide exceptions for those labeled reusable or biodegradable. Senator Lee's new bill seeks to eliminate those too.
As many subject matter experts have said, the term biodegradable plastic is a bit of a misnomer in the way that clean coal is. Yes, these bags will degrade quicker than ones that aren't labeled as such, but that just means that these bags turn into micro and nanoplastics sooner rather than later.
She says it would simplify the ban on plastic carryout bags and make enforcement easier for the Guam EPA. Some plastics, such as trash bags and those used to keep meat sealed, will be exempted. Kathy Scrow, president and CEO of Payless Supermarkets, says it's important to get the word out about the transition to reusable bags.
It's going to be very, very critical, and we really only have a few more months left. It's important to get the word out with the community as well as retailers, the supply costs and their inventory.
Again, the original plastic bag ban still goes into effect January 1st. If the new bill becomes law, even reusable plastic bags won't be allowed. For Guam's News Network, I'm Nestor Lecanto.
A superseding federal indictment has come down on multi-million-dollar Imperial Pacific International Corporation and MCC International Saipan executives. United States Attorney for the Districts of Guam and the Northern Mariana Islands, Sean Anderson, announces that the three business executives, Lee Wen-woo, Jin Min-chu, and Yan Shi, face numerous federal criminal charges, including RICO conspiracy, harboring illegal aliens, unlawful employment of alien, and international promotional money laundering. According to recently unsealed court documents, on August 1st, 2019, a federal grand jury returned a 71-count superseding indictment on the three business leaders for allegedly allowing criminal labor practice to occur during ongoing construction of the Grand Mariana Casino Hotel and Resort in Saipan. Additionally, according to a release from the U.S. Attorney's Office, the defendants are accused for allowing a monetary transfer of over $24 million into the United States to, quote, promote their illegal activity, unquote. The release notes that the three defendants are foreigners who reside outside the United States, and the case is ongoing with investigations underway by the Federal Bureau of Investigation, Department of Homeland Security, Internal Revenue Service, and the U.S. Department of Labor. KUAM reached out to IPI spokesperson Tao Ching for a comment, and as of news time, have not received a response. The CNMI recorded one more confirmed case of COVID-19 last night. This brings the total case count to 46 on Saipan. The new case is an NMI resident and was identified through travel screening upon arrival. The Commonwealth Healthcare Corporation notes that they are now at the isolation facility. And of now, the total is 46 cases up north. 22 of those cases, or about 48%, have been inbound travelers. The governor's task force explained that the 19 of those cases originated from the continental U.S., one from a U.S. territory and two from a foreign country. Meanwhile, the islands of Rota, Tinian, and Saipan continue community testing and have tested 12,301 residents thus far, and that's about 26% of its population. Tomorrow morning on The Link, we continue with our Decision 2020 interviews with the candidates. Joining Chris and Bree are Democrats Tina Munya Barnes and Jose Terlahi, and Republicans Vincent Borja and Dan Educlin. The election portion of the show is from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. on The Breeze 93.9 FM. Coming up, details on how you can participate in the 2020 Guam Census. Keep it here.
Your community calendar is brought to you by Taco Bell. Whether it's your first meal or your fourth meal, we've got you covered. Taco Bell, live Mas.
Chill out and cool off. McDonald's is bringing back an ice-cold treat that we love. Slushies. Available in 3 flavors. Fruit punch, cool blue raspberry, very popular, and the new pink lemonade. Each flavor now only $1.99 each. Try them all. Slushies are available for a limited time. Served at all Guam locations drive-thru in Tamuning, Hagåtña, Harmon, Mighty, and Jigo. At McDonald's, I'm loving it.
Small businesses are an important foundation in our island's growing economy. They provide essential goods and services to our community while preserving local traditions and creating new job opportunities. Your responses to the 2020 Census of Guam will help small businesses receive the information they need to thrive for years to come. Respond today. Together, we can make a difference.
My child, Ekonok, listen. The winds are singing. The ocean is roaring. And the trees are dancing. Our island is moving once again. In Afamolik, our unity has carried us through the stillness of today. And now, the spirit of Hafaday is yearning for our friends to come home.
Nana, is it time to bring all our friends back now?
Hungen, yes. It's time for the world to give us a moment together.
Welcome back. In case you missed it, this morning, Bree and Chris spoke with Bernie Gines and Nikki Kenyatta from the Guam Census and how the process has been collecting data and how residents can do their part.
Maybe if you could just tell us the status of the census operations, and then I kind of want to go into the different ways that people can respond to it in this pandemic. So whichever one of you ladies wants to take the floor on those questions, please do.
I can kind of start. You know, we're more than halfway completed with the data collection. You know, the data collection really entails, there's a couple, you know, there's the housing enumeration that's being conducted. We just completed our group quarters. Group quarters includes like DYA, DOC, you know, group settings. That just was recently completed in the month of July. So we're very proud of that, very proud of our team. There's also transitory and also military enumerations that were also completed. So our main focus now is the housing enumerations. That will complete, that will go all the way until September 15th. So really we want to motivate and encourage the general public, the community to, you know, if they have received, and I'm going to pull this out, this is the notice of visit. And you'll see a lot of our advertisements or a lot of our social media, and we reference it a lot. We talk about, have you received the notice of visit? There is a number that is included into this particular document. And that number number correlates to a particular call center. I mean, a contact number, main number within our call centers. Along that, there's map spots, there's numbers below. Again, it identifies your residence. So once you receive this notice, you just call in the number. We've got our enumerators ready to assist you, and you can conduct the actual enumeration, the questionnaires on the phone. It's really simple. But again, too, if you have yet to receive anything or have not received it, you can call our main line, which is 645-2020. From there, we can have the receptionist will go ahead and take some pertinent information down from you, ask more so like the village where you're from, and then go ahead and transfer you to one of our district call centers. The folks there are waiting and they're available, and you can make an appointment to do the questionnaires via the telephone, immediately on the phone, or you can also make an appointment for one of our enumerators to go out to your resident and do an in-person interview. But also we've got around the villages, which are census centers, right. And you can make an appointment if you're not comfortable in doing the questionnaires via the phone. And we understand, people have different preferences via the phone or via in-person at their home. Then they can also conduct it at a census, one of designated census centers throughout the community, throughout the villages. Mm-hmm. So there's really a lot of options. And again, it's just really to encourage and give options to the community, what's best for them, what they feel is really comfortable for them.
Mm-hmm. Do you guys keep track of how many of those notice of visit?
For the entire interview with Bernie and Nikki, you can head over to KUAM News' YouTube page right now. And coming up, your Cold Stone Creamery birthday shout-outs.
No one out-cheeses, out-meats, out-supremes, out-crusts, or out-stuffs the Hut. Because when it comes to making your favorites, no one out-pizzas the Hut.
MTO Maintenance will now completely sanitize your home, office, or business with state-of-the-art commercial sprayers. For over 30 years, MTO Maintenance has been committed to the health and safety of our customers. And now, more than ever, a clean home, office, carpets, and furniture is a necessity to our island. Give us a call today. Stay healthy and stay safe, Guam.
Call 647-6861 for an appointment.
It's our network that has enabled the digital society that we all work, study, and live in every day. In Guam and the CNMI, the network connects us to vital services like hospitals and emergency care. Through it, we disseminate vital information that keeps you up to date. I'd like you to all know that we're totally committed to the network, and especially in trying times like these, we are all better together.
And before we close out the news tonight, our latest round of birthday shout-outs from the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club.
All of us at KUAM and Cold Stone Creamery want to send a special August the 4th happy birthday greeting to Susan Guerrero. Happy birthday blessings to all of our smiles, lots of hugging and plenty of hearts, Susan. We love you plenty. Mom, the family, and your favorite brother Joey are sending all of their love, appreciation, friendship, support, and just awesomeness, because you are awesome. Happy birthday, Susan. Tristan Borja, happy birthday to you, and wishing you an awesome birthday. With love from Nino, Nina, and cousins, Dom, and Andre. Gotta tell you guys, whenever you get love from Nino and Nina, that's a complete day. So, it's your birthday, it's your special day, and we hope you have the best day ever.
Remember, you can be part of the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club by registering online on KUAM.com. Please make sure to include your photo, your name, and birthday. That's going to do it for us here on Prime Time. Thanks for watching. Have a good night and be safe.